All right, this is going to be a quick survey of my collection of double-edged fighters. And these are not daggers, so they do not have symmetrical blades, but they have two edges, all the better for fighting. And I'm going to start with the Classic. This is my 1991 re-release of the 1942 design Kabar from Kabar Knives. And this one came with a fully sharpened swedge. And these days you get a Kabar. There might be a model or two. I think the case one might come with a sharpened swedge. But these days regular Kabars do not. But I love that. Makes this so much more of a fighter than a utility knife. So Kabar, and that's the leather sheath it came with. I'm going to try and go quickly so that each knife I'm going to say this is such a cool knife. So next one is a really cool knife. This one is from Tops. This is a lacy Zabbo design. This is the Felony Stop. I have two Tops knives designed by lacy Zabbo, and this one is sort of dagger-like, but it's asymmetrical. This side is longer than this side, so I'm calling this a fighter. In the past, I have called this a dagger for other lists. So this one flexes, but beautiful double-edged 1095 blade steel. Big jimped thumb swale for standard grip, and then a great spot for trapping limbs in reverse grip, if you're good enough to do that. So really great little self-defense knife. I love the pistol grip. Not only does it orient the tip in an easy way so you don't have to torque your wrist when thrusting, but that curved handle makes it comfortable to carry, especially in the waistband or any other way, because it's curved and it's rounded. Very nice. All right, next up, let's see, another Tops knife. This is the, this is designed by Leo Espinoza, the chairman, the head Gadilla over there. This is the, what is this called? Rapid Strike. I always want to say Counter Strike. The Rapid Strike, kind of a Cold Steel name, is a knife that came out. This is a fighter, an asymmetrical double edge. This top has a, the bottom has more of a belly. This is more of a straight run there. You can get this one in single-edged or double-edged. Of course, I opted for the double-edge. Over here, the handle comes to maybe a half inch longer, and it comes to a pointed sort of diamond. The tang comes to a pointed diamond for glass breaking. I don't like that. I like to carry this tip down, edge forward, and use it in sort of a reverse grip. And that pyramidal peak there for breaking glass was not comfortable. That jimping is awesome. It really does grip your thumb, so you're not going to slide up onto that secondary edge. Great knife, small. I haven't carried it in a while. I need to not take this one for granted. It is a great blade. It is small. I put a different Tops clip on there. It doesn't ship with this Tops clip. As a matter of fact, that's the clip that came with the Felony Stop. And then I put a different clip on that, Discreet Carry Concepts. So that is the Rapid Strike. Next up, some customs here. This is the Cave Bear from Dirk Pinkerton. This is handmade by Dirk Pinkerton. Great sheath. I have the Ulti clip on there. The sheath makes so much of a difference. This is nice for that fold between your leg and your torso when you're carrying this up front right here in the waistband. This Cave Bear is a double-edged Pikal style knife, or you might say it's a Persian-y double edge. It does have a bit of a Middle Eastern vibe, a little bit of a Khanjar in there with that just absolutely beautiful and menacing Pikal blade. Perfectly ground. He is known by his peers as an excellent blade grinder. So this thing is perfectly ground by hand and then really nicely coated. That's Nitro V. And then you've got this friendly sort of Ronald McDonald micarta there, sort of giving you some cognitive dissonance. Is it a horrifying, grim tool of chaos, or is it a happy knife for cutting happy meals? All right, so that is the Cave Bear by Dirk Pinkerton. I'll stay with Dirk Pinkerton and go to another one. This one is definitely influenced by the Khanjar and other Middle Eastern knives, as well as the Western Bill Bagwell Hell's Bells Bowie. This is the Razorback, and yes, it is fully sharpened. Another asymmetrical double-edged fighting knife. This one has a nice short handle, which allows you to easily cap the pommel with your thumb, and you get that great sort of hooking, cutting action with that curved edge, which is wickedly sharp. It's hollow ground. These bevels are hollow ground, wickedly sharp, but not nearly as sharp as this, which is nearly paper thin behind that edge. Wafer thin. It is wafer thin, sir. Look at that. Oh, man. Just slashy as can be. A beautiful, beautiful knife. If you want to see another example of this Razorback knife, you can check out This Old Sword Blade Reviews. He's got a cool one, too. Double-edged fighter. That is the Razorback from Dirk Pinkerton. Handmade knife. Okay, let's see. A couple more customs here. This one is the this is the Prime by Richard Steele Designs. Richard Steele Jr. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Steele Designs. His stuff is awesome. Beautiful work. This one's a little rough and rustic. I mean, very, very well made, but he did a cool sort of rustic finish on the blade. This Prime is, I said Richard Steele. It's Ron Steele Jr. I am sorry, Ron Steele Jr. This Prime this drop point is one of his first sort of signature blades, and I asked if he could make it double-edged. He did. He did a beautiful job. That maroon micarta, just a great, great knife. And I finally got a discreet carry concepts clip on this and discovered that this carries in the appendix very, very nicely. Also in the 3 o'clock, very nicely. This is the Prime by Ron Steele Jr. Okay, next up from JB Knife and Tool out of Texas. This is the Ditch Pick. This is another Pikal / Persian, double-edged Persian. No, this is designed as a Pikal knife, the Ditch Pick. Ditch, for JB Knife and Tool, when they say ditch anything, they're referring to that very, very slender 1/16 of an inch blade stock, kind of springy, very sharp, slender, slicey, nasty. So this Ditch Pick, when they came out with this run a couple of years ago at this point, I think it was the first time they were offering double-edged. In the past, it was always just this single Pikal edge. And on this run, they were doing a really cool-looking bayonet edge, which would come up to about here, and then the rest would be dull. And this would be fully sharpened, or the fully sharpened. Of course, I had to go for fully sharpened. But I love this thing. Very slender, very light, wicked, asymmetrical fighting knife. I mean, that's what this is. Even more so than the bigger ones, you know. They're these little self-defense knives. JB Knife and Tool. Check them out. Next, from Kramer Custom Knives, this is the Voodoo. You've seen all of these knives a lot because I carry them all quite a bit, and I show them off on Thursday Night Knives and on the podcast. This Voodoo has gotten, besides my Hog Tooth knives, this has gotten the most carry of any fixed blade knife for me. It's very slender, beautifully made. Eric Kramer is just incredible with grinding. Very, very, very thin, hollow ground blade. And again, I asked him if he would sharpen the swedge. He did. It's a very short swedge, so it's an obtuse cutting edge there. It's not for slicing. It's for gouging. It's for tearing. It's for tip cutting. Oh, shit. It's for tip cutting, you know, when you're got someone trapped and then you pull. I may have just tip cut myself. I guess not. But I could have easily, because that's the kind of stupid stuff I do all the time. All right, I'm going to put this one back. This is the Eric Kramer Custom Knives. He's got a lot of cool designs, and they carry really easily because they're thin and his sheaths are awesome. I gotta say, all of these people make amazing sheaths, to a person. All right, I got about 6 more, and this is the Monkey Thumper from Black Rock Knives. Ken Vihikite and Black Rock Knives. Again, I asked for a double edge, and he obliged. This is a really, really cool ringed fighter. With that pistol grip and the ring, it lines that blade up to stab on a hammer fist without having to alter your wrist or hand. Beautifully sculpted handle scale. Very nice ring. I like the point on the ring. It's good for, I would imagine, I haven't used it, but it's good for that sort of pain compliance thing. It's good for a place to put your thumb. It's good for arresting the knife if you're doing any of that crazy spinning stuff because of those flat angles. But it's also excellent. This knife is just so comfortable in a standard grip without the finger, without the pinky in the hole. It's a great, great knife for that. And then look at the angle of the blade to the handle. It's just coming down. It's like a kukri or a recurve, just accelerating the material into that. Oh, that's the cat. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds like one of her suitors is on the other side of the window. Little bastard cat from down the block. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to continue doing this, and you might hear some crazy cat wailing in the background. All right, so next is a Cold Steel. Oh, yes, a Cold Steel. This is the OSS. The OSS, and this is based on the Bob Loveless sub-hilt fighter design. This is the top of the kitchen, top of the fridge knife, which I realized as I was pulling this down for this video is a bit redundant because the whole room is full of knives. But I have a fighter in there just in case. I've always loved the sub-hilt, something kind of mysterious and cool about it. Not mysterious in its usage. It's very, once you have one in hand, you really see how handy it is to have a sub-hilt and how, you know, you can use the knife percussively and swing it in such ways that trigger there really helps keep it in your hand, helps give you leverage and stuff. But also, if it's jammed in somewhere you don't want it to be, it's an extra way to pull the knife out. So this is the OSS by Cold Steel, an inexpensive solution to the problem. I don't have a sub-hilt fighter. So if you really like this kind of design, you'll see most of them are custom and very expensive, but you can get one from Cold Steel, and this thing is awesome. They also make a single-edged version of this, and they used to make a Wharncliffe version of this. I don't know if they still do. It would be cool to have that. Okay. A very expensive solution to the problem, I don't have a sub-hilt fighter, is this custom Hog Tooth Knives custom sub-hilt fighter I got for my 50th birthday, commissioned by my folks, designed by me, and made by Matt Chase of Hog Tooth Knives. It is a double-edged sub-hilt fighter with 1095 and 15N20 blade steel, beautiful hollow ground double-edged blade made of that exquisite pattern weld steel there, Damascus you might call it. And then got wrought iron from the Longfellow Bridge in Boston, beautifully sculpted into the sub-hilt and the hilt there, just gorgeous. And then stag handle, just a wicked fighting knife. I mean, to me, I've joked that if I were ever called out to a duel and the weapon of choice were knives, this would be what I would bring. Or if I were called out to a duel at all, this is the knife I would bring, just in case the flintlock pistols fail. I'd go at it with this. I love this knife. It is beautiful and also worth showing off this incredible sheath. Beautiful sheath, looks like a corset. But I love, again, you've got that asymmetrical double-edged fighting blade. All right, a few more, 3 more. I should have ended with this one because it is the most exquisite. Next, Randall Knives. This is the number 16. but it's wearing the #1 blade. This is the Special Fighter. So this or any other Randall knife, even their, you know, mostly for hunting knives, have a sharpened swedge. From here to here is sharp, and you fight with it. And a lot of people, they developed the Randall fighting method, where you start like this and actually use that back straight edge to initiate in the fight. And I don't know if it gets turned around for the rest of the fight or what it is, but you know, a lot of Bowie fighting is using the clip. And I know that GIs in World War II had a sort of fighting system using these #1 style blades from Randall Made knives. Also hollow ground, that's 440C. Micarta, beautifully sculpted, and nice brass quillions there. Just a really awesome asymmetrical double-edged fighting knife from Randall Knives. And of course, the sheaths for Randall are just beautiful. This one with a Arkansas stone in it. All right, second to last is the Tops Zabbo Express, the second knife in this list, designed by Lacey Zabbo. And I think he's a former Marine and a law enforcement officer, martial artist. Again, a double-edged asymmetrical knife. Now, I used to think this was a dagger with an asymmetrical handle, and then when you turn it upside down, you can really see how different both sides are. I don't know why I can't see it as well. You hear that, cat? You might not hear it. She's just going nuts. Yeah, but when you turn it over, you can really see the different, that's a fighter style blade. This knife by Tops, this is a was this 1095? They oftentimes, yeah, this is 1095 coated. They oftentimes will do 154 cm like they did on the Rapid Strike. If it's a small self-defense knife and they think it's going to be close to your body, I presume that's why they do that. This is an outstanding knife. This is one of my bedside knives. I love it. And the sheath pops right off, flies right off. And they put a great clip on it. I like what they're starting to do with their clips. All right, and then last in this list, in no particular order, but this is pretty sweet. This is a custom leather sheath by my brother, but this is the Attention to Detail Mercantile Medium Fighter. Again, double-edged by special request. This is a bayonet style fighter, hollow ground S35EN, both sides pretty deeply hollow ground, the top and the bottom. Very nice big jimping, crowned spine, faux tortoiseshell handle, and brass liners. That tang sits proud and is crowned and feels great in hand. And to me, this is a, I don't know what all that means, but this is a real like classy assassin's knife to me. This would be such a beautiful movie knife. This knife should be in the hands of a character in like a John Wick movie or something. Maybe it's the character that specializes in blades, but of course has guns so he doesn't get killed too quickly. Anyway, I love this thing. And again, asymmetrical, double-edged fighter. All right, well, thanks for joining me on this 20-minute journey through my collection of double-edged asymmetrical fighting knives, not to be mistaken for daggers. I love them, probably maybe even more than daggers. There's something about the lack of symmetry that doesn't seem so righteous. All right, thanks for watching.